All right, guys. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Dusty, good morning. Kevin, good morning. IXCO, Craig, R. Gill, PC, Jeff, how you doing? Okay, guys. So I completely took a break from the market this weekend. I did not look at charts. When I say I took a break, I took a break. Last week was a very, very profitable week overall for the market. And now you can see Bitcoin's in a downtrend. Slack, what is up? Good morning or good evening where you guys are. You guys could see Bitcoin is in a consistent downtrend here. We had a little pump last week, nothing crazy. We did break out. So that is a fact that we broke out. We broke out sideways of this little downtrend. Thomas, good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Feeling amazing. So here's the back test of the downtrend, of the smaller downtrend. But of the larger downtrend, we're just really ranging. Now, what we're doing is ranging at the conversion line. So Bitcoin's in a no trade zone for me at the moment, because typically I would be longing right here. Of course, I told you guys I'm going to respect the trend. I'm not going to go against the trend. But typically this would be an area where I would be longing. Okay. Yeah, Thomas, back is feeling a lot better. Absolutely. Been doing a lot of stretching. So, but yeah, typically I would be longing right here. We are just really ranging at this breakout area on your parallel channel. There isn't really too much happening, which is actually at the VRVP, so the VWAP range there. But the reason that we're dropping, guys, is because we're dropping on the 4-hour. So momentum is going to push us down on that 4-hour time frame. But if you actually look at your liquidity gaps here, we are holding this range, which is about 67.9. Okay, so Bitcoin is kind of in a no trade zone at the moment for me, which is funny because this is New York. Right, so this is the New York session, and we are kind of just ranging. All right, are you going to buy at the retest of that channel? I'm not sure yet, Argil. I don't know what I'm going to do, because right now I've got momentum coming down on Bitcoin. The MACD is still pushing up, so we've essentially got resistance right here, also rejecting on BTC, right? So we've got resistance right here. MACD is pushing down on the 4, but essentially Bitcoin is moving up off that breakout right there. So we're just really ranging. We had a big drop, guys. You got to keep that in mind, right? If you look at let's look at the weekly still and see what is happening. I'm fine with it ranging. Like, we did break out, so I'm not shorting it. The 3-day is moving up now. You can see the 3-day is curved, so that's mainly going to be a range. You know what? I might long this. Stop loss. But the thing is with this long, though, is you're dropping on the 4-hour. So really all we're just doing is ranging here. We got to see what happens after this 4-hour time frame. But we had a big drop, and now you're kind of waiting for Bitcoin to come up to the top. So the top would be right here, whatever this is right here. Now keep in mind, guys, we are in a downtrend, right? We are in a downtrend. this is the direction that you're looking at Bitcoin hitting 82.7 to 83K. All right. If I long this, I go super low leverage. Yeah, we'll see. I'll hop in along. But I go super low leverage because that 4 hour. We did break out, right? So the fact that we broke out is enough for me to jump into a long. Now my stop loss is going to be below here. $67.6. It is lower leverage. Well, I'm actually doing it on my funded account right now. So I did hop into a long. I'm 0.5. 0.5 at this area right here. So whatever 0.5 is on XC, and then I got a 10x long on Bitcoin with a stop loss because we did break out, right? So the reality is we broke out. We're just kind of going sideways, essentially. So if I go to my lines right here, I might be looking at a take profit possibly of 72.1. So I did hop in along just right now, guys. I'll even share it on the Mighty app. Nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to, I don't like the 4 hour coming down, but I like the fact that we actually broke out. So show you guys my trade here. I'm just going to show you all my trade on the funded account. Typically, I would not be longing this with the 4 hour coming down, but because we got really good support off that break there and a back test of that liquidity gap, we're looking at a okay long. So this is my trade right now. We're pretty much in profit. I jumped into it a bit late, which is why I took 0.50. So we'll see. If I lose this trade, I don't lose too much, but I do see it just really ranging for a bit. Now, if we look at our 1 hour time frame here too, good morning, Tim. How you doing, brother? If you look at your 1 hour time frame here too, you did in fact bounce off of this, which could be a higher low. And this area right here is actually resistance. Okay, so this area is resistance. This is your higher low being formed. I would say this is a good long. I would definitely say this is a good long. The more I look at it, it is a really good long because you're kind of forming a higher low off that stochastic RSI, and then you're hitting resistance right there. All right. And then here you can see the 4 hour is moving up kind of here too. Typically, we don't like to short long a breakout, but you guys got to keep in mind this RSI has been remaining oversold for a very, very long time. So now what it needs to do is it needs to kind of catch up to the top here. It does need to break out, but the chart already broke out. So, all right. How about XRP? Did anybody trade this weekend, or did you guys kind of take my advice and go touch grass? I hope everyone just took off trading this weekend, guys. It was a very profitable week, right? The billionaire traders and the millionaire traders, guys, they trade 3 times a week. That is their week. 3 times a week. That is it. Sometimes 2 times a week. So it looks like our long is playing out here, which is great. So same thing with XRP, guys. We're just going to go to the downtrend, right? Because even though we broke a channel, we are just ranging. We're bouncing off of this conversion line. So that means XRP is targeted for 167 to 172. You can see the 4 hours dropping. You can see the 1 hours going up. Essentially, we want this resistance right here to break on XRP, which we got the break. We just want to close outside of this 4 hour, outside of this 1 hour candle above here. If you get that close above, you're rocking and rolling. And then you should be able to take XRP to about 172. That would be a massive fake out, though, off that drop the other day. I am crypto trading. Good morning. How you doing, fam? Trying to recover from the Super Bowl party. Yeah, the Super Bowl party. Seattle. Oh, my gosh. Seattle. Seattle was crazy for sure. So anyways, guys, you can see right here that XRP is breaking out. Bitcoin is trying to run here off that breakout. So I would let XRP pump. I would go for the back test, or you could even get it right here and then ride it maybe up to about 162, maybe even 170 target, okay? But XRP did break out, so we're going to look for this move right here. We're going to see if our RSI actually broke out. We got our RSI breakout here. With Bitcoin, we don't. Our RSI breakouts all the way at the top. So the question is, are we going to pump to the top here and then drop? That's a big possibility, right? So you got to look at that right here. 72K is our next target. But with XRP breaking out, Bitcoin is 90% going to break out, right? All right, guys. So our long is looking good. Who ended up longing Bitcoin with me? Again, anything could happen with this long. We could just range a bit, but I am looking at Bitcoin hitting about 72.2. That would be my range. Now, I'm on a little mission of making $1,000 every day, no matter what, which means no matter what, I'm cashing out at $1,000. If it ends up breaking resistance, I will be done for the trade. So what I'm trying to do, guys, is be consistent in my life. And I'm trying to make $1,000 every day in crypto, no matter what. If I'm up 1,500, I'll set my stop loss to 1,000, and that's it. Every single day, I'm going for $1,000. If I make more than 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, that is great. But in trading, you want to work on consistency. And when you guys win a lot, you're going to notice you are greedy and don't take profit. That's the reality of it. And I've been in that area the last couple of weeks. I've been at $5,000 profit, guys, and did nothing. 5,000 USD profit and did nothing. And let the trade ride back down. So what I'm trying to do, and by ride back down, I'm talking 2,500. Or whatever, 3,000. Is that USD or Canadian? That's USD. So Canadian, you're looking at about 1,300, right? So my goal right now is to be consistent, taking $1,000 USD every day, no matter what, and then I'll work it up. because sometimes in trading, I'll tell you guys this right now, this is my problem. I see 20 grand, I see a number. I try to get it to 22, 25. I see 1,000, I'm trying to get it to 2,000, 3,000, right? It's just like a number going up and down. And in trading, I don't want it to be like that. So what I'm trying to do now is just be completely consistent in the market, okay? PC Surgeon, how you doing? I was up 10K and did nothing. I'm telling you right now, as traders, guys, we are greedy. We have the glutton. We have our bellies filled to the top, and we're eating like kings, and we still don't take the money. It is a very good example to take profit, all right? Like, right? And then it's a very good example to not over leverage too. So total 3 ended up breaking this downtrend here and back testing the downtrend. You can see that we broke. We can see that we broke right here. We're just ranging again, but it did break. And you are dropping on your 4 hour. And your 1 hour's drop. Well, your 1 hour is moving up. XRP looked like it broke out. Total 3 did not. Bitcoin is just ranging. It didn't break out yet. So XRP is the only thing that really did break out. Okay, so we got this 4 hour close. Like I said, we're ranging at this fair value gap. So I'm on lower leverage just to allow for this to bounce up and down a bit. But it should hold this area off of a breakout. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. You got a real nice fair value gap of range. So we'll see what happens on this 4 hour candle. I'm not too upset if I end up losing this trade. Like I said, it's lower leverage. I've got a fair value gap. I've got a back test. So everything's looking good in that area. But really all I'm doing is I'm looking for it to bounce in this range. So let's say it did come all the way back down to about, I don't know, 67.6. I'd be fine. My stop loss would be okay. I'm pretty much waiting for this to play this channel in the range, right? Ideally, I would be longing here. Ideally, I would be longing here, guys, at around 67.5. But because this is the actual breakout right here, that is why I end up taking a long. But typically, I would wait till 67.5 to take a long. Also, we got a real nice golden cross coming up here on the 1 hour time frame. So your 200 SMA is looking good. I do want to check Ethereum, kind of see what Ethereum is doing. Crypto is so boring, guys. I don't know. Crypto is very, very, very boring. Even with the pumps, even with the drop, it's just nothing is happening. So ETH broke out. Right? So Ethereum broke out. Maybe we come down to about IXCO. Joshua was in 16K profit and ended up giving 80% back. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. I make a lot of money real quick and I end up riding trades where the only time I want to be looking at the charts is if I'm on live. Typically. So Ethereum ended up breaking out. It could come down to 1900. Little breakout right here, that downtrend. Right? 4 hours looking not too bad. ETH would be an okay long. It's kind of bouncing off this fair value gap here around 1900. You know the top of the resistance right here is about 2600 on ETH. So I could see ETH popping up to 2600. And if you look at the resistance right here, the resistance is all the way up here. So if you look at your RSI, guys, your RSI has a lot of resistance to go on Ethereum, on Bitcoin. Obviously, we're ranging a bit on both, but XRP is the only thing breaking out at the moment. And I think that is because we bounced off the weekly trend. We're trying to break out. Right? It looks like that is because we bounced off the weekly, the 3-day trend. If I'm looking at the channel. So Bitcoin's really just going sideways at the moment. Right? So XRP did bounce off that area right there. Your 4-hour time frame. Kind of looking at a fake out, but we'll see what happens after this 4-hour close. Because this is a breakout. Even if Bitcoin ends up faking out here, this is a breakout. I see this just ranging. Any way I look at that, that is a breakout. Do we look at the total crypto market cap? I think we did. No, we didn't. We looked at total 3. So if we look at the original total crypto market cap, we can see that same thing. You broke out in total 3. So you broke out pretty much on everything. Total 3, total 2, total crypto market cap, Bitcoin. Odon, thank you for commenting. I appreciate you. All right, what are you guys thinking? We're going to pump up to 83K or we're going to range here a bit? Mickey, how you doing? Can you look at hype? For sure. Hype, hey? Hype is just chilling. Hype is such a difficult coin to trade because it kind of broke the conversion line. You can see hype breaking, but it's holding that. Like, the hype is weird, man, because hype broke the trend. Okay, any way you want to look at hype, it broke the trend long time ago. Long time ago. But it looks like hype is really just coming sideways to the channel, which I've really never seen that before. Not when you're breaking a channel like that. Hype is kind of ranging at the VRVP. Yeah, hype is a difficult trade. Hype is a difficult trade for me to even. Like, we have an inverse head and shoulder here too on hype. we did fake out of the, we faked out here. So it broke out, but it faked out. I definitely wouldn't short. I don't know. Maybe I would stay away from hype, to be honest, because it did break the uptrend. Well, at least on the RSI. You're waiting for Bitcoin to come down to the 68K range. It might come down to here around 27. So the thing with Bitcoin going to 68, yeah, it could. It definitely could. It could range in this area. But I would say that's going to be a bit tough for Bitcoin to come back here because we already back tested. So possibly, right? Possibly. But we already back tested right here. So that would have been the long. What trade is available in Bitcoin? I am personally in a long myself. Non-financial advice. We are in a downtrend. Okay. Typically, I don't recommend longing a downtrend. In this case, it is a bit different. The reason being is because we got a back test of our actual trend right here. All right. All right, guys, hit that like button. Run up the live. I appreciate you. So if you guys are just tuning in to the live, guys, I am long. All right. Another thing here too is there's a tweezer reversal candle forming on BTC right now. So tweezer reversal forming, which is usually a continuation or a retrace off of the downtrend, but in this case, it would be a range. I'm surprised New York is not. I'm surprised New York didn't really manipulate. And you know why I could see we're a bit bullish in the shorter term is because New York did not manipulate. New York typically manipulates. So if you look at the range here following AMD, all right, we've got Tokyo distributing. So Tokyo distributed here, 71 all the way to 68. We've got London ranging, and we've got New York ranging. What this tells me is that sellers are exhausted and buyers are going to start to come in. And then obviously we got a 4-hour RSI which needs to catch up here. I do want to look at stocks here, STX. It has been really, really good. It's been moving fairly nicely. We did break out on STX as well, but we're going sideways. So I would keep an eye on this one, guys, because we do have a nice double bottom. All we're really doing is ranging, but this could potentially play out. Could potentially play out for sure. And then I also want to see if we have a continuation of Aave. So Aave. Aave broke out. Aave broke out sideways, actually. Aave dropped a whole heck of a lot, as this did a lot of other coins. I would keep close tabs on Aave, guys, for a long. Because Aave will recover very, very quick. I know we're in a downtrend, but Aave will recover very, very quick for sure. Let's see what we got rocking on CoinGecko right now. Because everything dropped a lot, so it's very tough to look for shorts right now. Axie is recovering. WLFI, okay, nothing too much happening. Looks like people are cautious about the market. AXS pumped a lot. And I want to see if AXS is holding the trend. It does look like it is holding the trend. So it is trying to hold the trend, because this would be a good long on AXS if we ended up holding the trend, but it is in a little downtrend right now. It does have some really good bullish divergence here. I would keep an eye on Axie Infinity, guys. I wouldn't be longing it until it breaks out of the downtrend here. But there's a possibility that Axie Infinity could pump. Your 18 hours oversold, at least to the top of here around 350-ish. Your weekly is looking not too bad. Well, your weekly is actually pushing down, but there's a possibility. It looks like the only trades right now are really just Bitcoin and the large caps. The low caps aren't even really doing much. XRP possibly. I'm going to set an alert here around 170. We are going to go check out Solana. So Solana broke out too. Yeah. So we're just really ranging sideways. We've got an inverse head and shoulder here in Solana. The overall trend we did not break out of. But this little trend with the inverse head and shoulder, we definitely did break out of for sure. So it looks like we're going to range in this area here in Sol. But Sol has a really nice inverse head and shoulder. You can see it. I would say if this breaks out, this is going to pump to about $1.20-ish, which will be a good area for Solana. If we look at our liquidity gaps right here in Sol, we've got a real nice range right here with a major smooth moving average. And then you'd be looking at 106. You pretty much got to break this area here, which is 89, but then you're looking at a decent pump on Solana. I've been doing trades in Kite. Okay. Honestly, guys, I've just been trading BTC and large caps. I haven't even messed around with low cap coins anymore. Man, Bitcoin's just ranging. Okay. So Kite. It's the 4-hour close, right? So I have to look at the 4-hour. Kite is looking not too bad. Kite ended up breaking out, so I could actually see Kite pushing up to this resistance here around 20. I think we were looking at Kite the other day off this breakout, and it started taking off here, right? So Kite's not looking too bad. I would say we see Kite pump into at least the previous high here around 19 cents in that region. Okay, I didn't notice the 4-hour close that's done, so I do want to look at the 4-hour. Yeah, so we are pushing down on our momentum on the 4-hour time frame, which is why I'm in a lower leverage short. I mean long, but we did backtest this breakout. So it's a 50-50 at the moment for Bitcoin. Yeah, I see this just ranging for a bit in this region from 71 down to 67. So I would play the range. You're kind of hanging out with the VRVP. The 4-hour is definitely dropping here. I'm not liking this long after the 4-hour close. I'm really not. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens because we did break out of this area. So low leverage. If you're longing low leverage, don't go high leverage. Like if this fakes out and comes back down, guys, there will be a drop. For this to fake out off of a big trend like this, I would be shocked. But yeah, all we're really doing is ranging. We could kind of see it right now. We're just ranging in this area. Nothing is happening. So we're pretty much waiting for that 4-hour close, that 4-hour to be oversold. What about the 4-hour I don't like? Well, the fact that we're completely dropping on our KND. We're separated on our KND. Also, the fact that we have rejected this resistance, but your MACD is still moving up. So, and your 1-hour is moving up. So keep that in mind. Your 1-hour is moving up here. The other thing is we actually broke the uptrend here. So if you guys look right here on Bitcoin, we did break the uptrend and we're just moving sideways, right? So there's a couple caution to the win things here, but we do have a 4-hour fair value gap, which in my opinion is pretty good. If anything, I'd be very, very cautious in this area if we do pushing up to that 68%. But yeah, I'm not really liking this 4-hour close. But we do got pretty good support here. So if anything, Bitcoin is just going to range between 68.4 and 72. When you got a downtrend like this, you got to look at every variable. The fact is, we're not in an uptrend. We're in a bearish market. We're in a bear market. We're in a downtrend. But that other variable is the fact that we broke out of said longer downtrend And now we're kind of just accumulating, right? Tokyo already did the distribution. So we're just really looking for that accumulation. Let's see if River is doing anything. I know it had triple bottom. So River has a nice triple bottom, and it pretty much broke out of it. Well, we're going sideways. So we're just really waiting for this downtrend to break. But this could be a nice long off of the breakout. Definitely could be a nice long. Possibly to about $17-ish in that region. I would definitely look at River, guys. River's looking pretty good. But yeah, not too much happening in crypto, guys. Like, let's look at a couple things like gold and silver. So silver had a nice little pump here. A little bit of a double top. See if silver broke out. Yep, so silver broke out any way you want to look at silver. Silver definitely broke out. And silver is actually bouncing off of that bull market support band, which is, here's your uptrend on silver. So that would have been a real nice long on silver right here, 65%. But yeah, silver's looking fire. Silver's in a real nice round of bottom too. So if that's crazy, all the way down to 63. If silver breaks this conversion line, guys, we're going to pump pretty high to about 126-ish. You know, you had that bullish dive on silver right here. We also have XAU, which is gold. And gold broke out. Broke down, but broke out. Double top. If gold breaks this resistance right here, gold is going to pop. You're going to see gold pump a lot out of this breakout. We pretty much could pump all the way to the top here, back around 5,600. I would say gold is lining up. If we could break that conversion line, you're oversold here on gold. I would say we pump to about, well, to the top here, 5,600. So there is a double top, but you broke out of this trend. You broke out of this downtrend. You have a double top. You didn't even back test. Well, I guess you back tested right here. And you're bouncing off of that fair value gap. So gold and silver, it's looking like there is going to be a recovery, guys, which by recovery, I mean pump. Yeah. How about if we look at Tether DOM here? So USDT went up. We're kind of bouncing-ish, but not really doing much. Tether DOM is definitely very, very bullish. You can see it. but we're just kind of ranging. That is the story for the day, guys. Today is a range, okay? So I am in a long, yes, but where I will exit my long and ditch my long is if we end up breaking this liquidity gap, which is essentially a fair value gap right here. Well, here we go. So change of character. So we are definitely bullish in the shorter term, the way I'm seeing this, but we just need to hold that area right here, 67.9. If we can hold this, we're rocking and rolling. We are rocking and rolling. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody for popping on the live today, guys. Thank you very, very much for coming on the live. Not too much is happening, so we are going to end it there for the New York session. We will be back today at 8:30 p.m. to talk about Tokyo. Maybe Tokyo, there will be a bit more excitement, okay? Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And, yeah, Bitcoin's along at the moment. We're just ranging, right? So there's enough to show me that we're going to pump up to my target, at least to make that over $1,000. So I will see everybody on the Tokyo live today around 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. CST. And I hope you all have a great day. Set your stop losses and profit. You can see on my levels we broke out. And we'll go from there.